Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is the Mark and Gary Show. I'm Gary.
Hey, I'm Mark, and I got a headache.
What's up? Something new?
Yeah, I'm on my first day of my fast. I'm doing my crazy, well, I don't think it's crazy, but I'm doing my 5-day fast.
All right, it's fasting
So,
time.
yeah, twice a year I do a 5-day water fast and turn into a grouchy old man pretty quickly. But
Turn into it? Yeah.
I'm at the end of my first day, and yeah, I thought we'd talk about it and kind of go through the process, kind of get an understanding of what I do, so or don't do. So yeah, I've been doing this. I've been doing fasting, water fasting for 5 or 6 years now, and I
Mhm.
started doing just 1 day fast because yeah, I thought I'd give that a shot, and it went okay, and I didn't have a problem. And then I went to 3 days, 3-day water fast, and I survived that. And so I've been doing 5 days for about last 2 3 years, a couple of times a year, and it's pretty transformative, I'll tell you that. So,
That's pretty cool.
but yeah,
Now, there's different types of fasts. There's like juice
yeah,
fasting and all this kind of stuff. Is it purely just water? Do you drink some tea or anything? Or?
nada, just water. Well, yeah, one thing I do is I drink electrolyte water. I did a fast once, and I don't know if I overdrank water because I drank too much. I think I drank too much water, so I was like flushing out my salts, and that's
Mhm.
not good for your heart. Um, but yeah, I was just drinking regular bottled water, and I thought about it. I thought, well, maybe I need some electrolytes, but I didn't want to eat anything, because I'm trying to shut down my gut and shut down my digestive system, the entire system, not just the gut, liver, kidneys, everything. So, not liver, pancreas, whatever. So yeah, so I'm doing electrolytic water. It's the kind of stuff you buy in a store. I buy 5 big bottles of it, and I try to drink about a liter, 2 liters a day. I drink when I'm thirsty. I was trying to drink
Mhm.
way too much one time, and that didn't end well. Um, but yeah, so I just drink water, no
Yeah, I
tea, no
think there's
coffee.
isn't there a salt thing? Like if you drink too much water, you lose too much salt, and that can get
Yeah,
dangerous if you go extreme. I mean, it's got to be pretty extreme, but
yeah. You flush all your electrolytes, your salts, and you can have a heart attack.
yeah,
You have to be careful of that stuff. So
I think that happens to like marathon runners. If somebody runs a marathon and then they chug. I mean, it's got to be a lot of water, but if you
yeah,
chug a lot of water, you've lost too many electrolytes, and then you chug all this water, and that's where it can get kind of in a danger zone. So
yeah. The one thing you do with what I do with marathons though is I'm taking those energy things, right? They hand those out with the
yeah,
race, and I mean the LA Marathon is notorious. I don't know if all the other marathons are like this, but they're notorious for those handing stuff, you know, oranges and crackers. And did you ever see that? Was it Jimmy Kimmel that did some goof where he was on Hollywood Boulevard and he had a pot of clam chowder or something like that. And he was handing out little cups of clam chowder to people, and then some other guy was handing out shrimp cocktails or I don't know what. But this is true. I kid you not. This is true. It's like an on ramp on the 101. I'm pretty sure it's the 101. There's a guy. This is in the marathon course. We were running past, and there's a guy
hmm
handing out chili dogs and chili cheese fries, and people are taking them and eating them. Pretty gnarly.
really, wow,
Yeah,
that's pretty hardcore.
yeah. It's like mile 6, mile 5, mile 6. So
Clam chowder. Jeez, you couldn't pay me to eat clam chowder.
yeah, well, eating a chili dog, and then I
Yeah,
can't imagine they get more than a couple hundred yards and they're done. But yeah, free food, right?
yeah, I
For
guess.
some people, they just run walk, and it's a goof anyway for them. But yeah, I
So,
always shake my head when I see that guy. Every year he's there.
oh really? You're consistent, huh?
Yeah. Anyway,
So five
God, I don't want to
days
talk
all
about food. What am I
water.
doing? What?
You sneak a little power bar in there somewhere.
No way,
Well,
man.
you're
No.
hard. You're tough. You're hardcore.
It's mental. It's as much a mental game as it is physical. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
So today is the honeymoon. This is day one, end of day one, and yeah, I'm a little tired, and but I'm not hungry really. I can't. I don't think I'm hungry. I haven't thought about food. I don't crave anything. Just a little tired, no headache. Drinking water, off and on all day, and just taking it easy. Actually did some work today. Tomorrow will be, well, generally tomorrow. So for me personally, everybody's different. So for me, um, day two can get kind of rough. Day three really sucks. I mean, I've never had a good day three. That's like you just sit and watch Netflix all day because you don't want to watch regular TV because you're just going to get bombarded with all the food commercials, which is no fun. Especially if there's commercials on food you want.
It tortures you.
Uh, yeah, so I do Netflix, Amazon, whatever, and then day four is usually a little bit better, and then day five. I mean, I've had some day fives where I could go another day. Matter of fact, a recent fast, I was thinking, oh, I'll do day six, see if I can do day six. But my fasts are actually 5.5 days because so like last night I had dinner like 7 o'clock, and then I'll go 5 days, and then on the morning of the sixth day I'll eat. So it's really 5.5, but who's counting? So I mean, I guess I could be like eating at 7 o'clock on Friday night, but I just choose to eat. Well, the other reason I choose to eat in the morning of the sixth day is because I start eating. I start eating my, for lack of a better term, my recovery meals, right? So, part of what happens in this water fast is you're killing off your gut biome, right? Which is what I want to do. I want to shut down my gut and give it a chance to rest and kill off all the bacteria and whatever else is growing in there. And then I need to replenish, so I start eating natural probiotics. There's a yogurt I like called Cocoa. It's a coconut-based yogurt, but there's cashew yogurt.
Oh, I love that stuff.
Yeah,
I know that.
Horribly expensive.
Yes.
But yeah, I have Cocoa. And there's a kefir.
That's
There's like
funny.
a kefir that I'll take. It's vegan, and I'll just do that in the morning, and then I'll have fruit maybe in the mid-morning or afternoon, and then I'll have vegetables. So I kind of like kind of work my way out of the fast on the recovery day.
Yeah.
Not gonna have Mexican food. Not gonna have
Hamburger.
go to In-N-Out and eat a double, which I don't eat anyway. But I'm not gonna do anything stupid. So because your gut can't process it anyway, as far as I'm concerned. There's nothing in there to process it. All the good bacteria needs to be rebuilt. But usually the day after my recovery day, I'm good to go. I'll pretty much eat whatever I want.
Yeah, a lot of people don't really think about that, but there is something about what you eat going into the fast and what you eat coming out of the fast.
Absolutely.
A lot of people just barrel in and just do it, and as soon as they get out of it, they go back to eating teriyaki chicken and pizza and stuff, and that's
and
not good.
that never ends well, by the way. I've personally experienced that. So yeah, my pre-fast diet is just one day. It's just one day. I stay away from alcohol that day. I don't eat anything spicy. I don't know if you recall, but kind of funny. You and I went out for Thai food on one of my fasts. We went out the night before we had Thai food. It's a couple of years ago, pre-pandemic, when you could do that. And man, I just had such a crappy fast that time, and I don't know what it was. And I didn't feel very good the first day, and I don't know, maybe that's also the time I overdrank water. But but yeah, I shy away from anything too exotic either.
I would think like anything that's just heavy or tough to digest, like beans or meat.
Right. Well, if you think about it, I mean, trying to be delicate on the subject, I mean, you want to clear out, right? I mean, you are empty by the end of this. By the fifth day, there's zero left in you. So you don't want to eat anything the day before that your body's trying to process through, right? You want to eat foods that are easy to digest, easy to eliminate. Think of it that way. So, and you don't want to eat anything that's going to dehydrate you. So if you drink like 3 margaritas, the night before with your dinner, that dehydrates you. Or coffee or, something like that, right? So you don't want to eat a diuretic. Or really, really super heavy salty food. I think that was what it was. I think that Thai food was really salty. And there was something about it. It's kind of funky too. Yeah, so the lead up to my fast, and this is just my experience, right? I've done a bunch of these successfully. I'm still here talking about it. But Yeah, I take it easy on the front end of the back end of the fast. Yeah.
Now, the thing I've heard and I've read is, the first couple days of a fast, you just are dying for food. Your cravings are off the chart. But after like day three, the cravings go away, and you don't even think about food. And food's not even an issue anymore, and you're in this bliss.
I'm
is
the
that
exact
is that
opposite.
what you get? No, really
Oh my
interesting.
god, yeah, exact opposite. Day one's a no brainer. I mean, I've gone into work on day one. I once went swimming. I think it was day one or day two. That wasn't the smartest move, but no. I start to really get hungry like day three, day four. Day three, I'm pretty miserable. I mean, you'll see. Like, I wore a
Interesting.
nice shirt for the first day of us talking, so you can see how I degrade, but over time. But yeah, I get hungry. And my wife is a really good cook, so if she's cooking something I like, um, that's brutal. So open the window or go do something.
Yeah, it
But I
starts
pretty
to
much I
trigger
pretty
you.
much hang out. I mean, I don't do any strenuous exercise. Just try to, like I said, kind of lay low, watch some movies, really just to kill time. I sleep like a baby when I'm on a fast too. I'll do
Mm,
8, 10
nice.
hours, no problem. Yeah, so the more
Oh,
sleep, the better.
do you
But
tend to sleep longer or?
yeah, yeah, I get a really good night's sleep when I fast.
Okay.
Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, part of it is you're just tired. I mean, your body's. I mean, in a fast, your body's doing actually a lot of work, right? And your body's going through this process called autophagy. It's breaking down poor quality tissue, poor quality cellular tissue,
Mm.
precancerous cells, all kinds of stuff. There's a lot of things that are going on in your body when you're going through a fast. So it's doing its thing. Um, so why add to that? And I don't want to add stressors into the mix either. I want to kind of keep a low profile, take it easy, go through the process, and then So I haven't had to grab it. I haven't had to reach for the Tylenol yet. So hopefully I won't. But it's different for different things. Like I've had a lot of people ask me, should I do it, or my dad should try it, or whatever. And I'm like, first of all, if you're on any medications that require food, you got to be careful. And just any medications in general, I always tell people, check with your doctor. Check with the doctor that's prescribing the medication if you can, and I don't know, maybe even check in with them every day. I don't know what kind of doctor you have if they're cool with doing that, but usually a good doctor is going to be interested in your health, and I don't know, they may steer you away from it. I'm not sure. So a medical opinion is just that, it's an opinion. But if you're on medication, things like that, yeah, I would be careful. I'm not saying
Yeah, definitely
don't
get
do it,
clearance
but
from your doctor, but yeah.
yeah, yeah,
And I think the other thing, and it's something that you did, is ease into it.
exactly.
Do a 1 day thing.
Hmm. Oh
And
yeah, I did
see how your
several.
body reacts, and
Hmm.
see how you come out of it, and then maybe
Hmm.
do a 2 dayer, and then a 3 dayer, and
Hmm.
build into it. Sometimes you see people just dive into a 7 day fast, and they've never done one before. And
Right,
I think sometimes that's where you get the horror stories of,
right.
like, oh, my tongue turned black, and all kinds of weird things came out of me. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure it's different for different people. I mean, there's a lot of people posting blogs and videos on what they did. The one thing I don't agree to is doing it for weight loss. Well, for one thing, you will lose weight, but you'll gain it right back, especially if you go back to a normal diet, whatever that might be. So you will gain back, and yeah. So it's not really a weight loss thing. I never recommend anybody do it for pure weight loss. I mean, you will lose weight, so I guess that's a good thing. But it'll come back. So it's more about the physiological changes that are going on in your body, and what you're doing. Um, so
Yeah, I think the weight you lose is more water weight than anything else, right?
you're burning fat, you're burning a little muscle. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's day 3 you start going into ketosis. So yeah, you're losing weight. I mean, I generally lose about 15 pounds, 12 to 15 pounds. But
That's a
I'm a
lot.
bigger person, so I mean I'm 6'5", so I have a lot have a lot of body mass. But yeah, I lose about 15. Sometimes I'll gain half of that back in the first week. But I have a
Well, I
pretty
think there's
clean
some.
diet, and I
Go
exercise. I
ahead.
run and swim all the time, so you know.
Well, I think that's a key thing. You know, you live a pretty healthy life, and you have for a while.
Mhm.
So I think that makes your fasting process smoother.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe.
you know, if you're eating the standard American diet for the last 20 years, I
Oh,
think
wow.
your fast would be probably a lot nastier.
Yeah.
And
Well, the
if you were having
toxins
to
you'd have in your
detox all
system.
the
Oh,
sugar
yeah.
and caffeine
Detox would be
you
gnarly.
eat of it, yeah.
But you'd know that because you would have done a 1 day fast and seen how. I mean,
Mhm.
like I said, I did a 1 day, then I did a 3 day, then I've been doing 5 days for a few years, well, 2 3 years. But excuse me. But yeah, I mean, you gotta walk before you run, definitely. I don't know. I might try a
So
7 day at some point.
so having done this many times, when you go into it, is it a oh my god, this is gonna be difficult, but I'll get through it kind of thing, or is it a yeah, I've done it
Um,
before, no big deal.
I used to dread it. I don't anymore. I kind of look forward to it because I know because
Hmm,
I'm conscious of the benefits that I'm getting.
yeah.
Um, right. So from that perspective, I mean, my goal is to live a long and healthy life, and I'm going to do everything I can to do that, and
Yeah.
stay off medications for as long as I can. And I mean, I don't need any medications. I don't take any medications, but so I do it more for those reasons than anything else. It's not a goof for me. I don't. So from that, so mentally, I'm able to move through it mentally because, or physically, excuse me, because mentally I'm resolved in the fact that I'm doing this for a good reason,
Hmm.
as opposed to just kind of a fun thing to do. And then by the third day, I like the hell with this.
Yeah.
Where's the Cheetos, or where's the ice cream? So, but yeah, the other thing is that it's this is a normal. I really truly believe this is a normal process that we're supposed to go through as human beings. I mean, 5,000 years ago, we didn't have three hots and a cot, right? We weren't eating 3 meals a day, and it was. I mean, I guess 5 10,000 years ago, whatever. Before farming, right? Before agriculture,
Hmm.
you ate when you ate. You ate when you killed something, or found something to eat, right? So fasting was kind of a normal thing, right? And we've been on the planet how many millions of years? So it's only recent. You think about it, it's only recently that we've been putting our bodies through 3 meals a day,
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think
and
that's a
three
great
crappy
point.
meals from a lot of people.
I think that's a great point. That's why I'm a big fan of time restricted eating and intermittent
Yeah.
fasting, because that is the way we used to eat. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it was kind of feast or famine.
Mm-hmm.
You killed a wild boar or something, and you
Mm-hmm.
had a big feast. But then you might not eat for another couple days, and then you
Mm-hmm.
stumble into an apple orchard, and all of a sudden you ate a bunch of apples,
Right.
and then you didn't eat again for a
Yeah.
couple days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm always amazed by these nature shows on TV, like the Discovery Channel, where they'll throw some expert into the middle of nowhere and they'll say, live for a month, and they'll film the guy. And the
Yeah.
first thing they always show him is him trying to find food and setting up traps and stuff. And I'm always amazed at how hard it is for them to get food. It takes them a long time to capture anything to eat. They'll literally spend all day building some trap,
Mm-hmm.
and the next day they capture a snake or a rabbit or something, and ooh, that's their meal. It's not even that much food, and then
Yeah.
then they have to go through it again. And a day or two later
Right.
they catch their next meal. And these are nature experts. These are guys who are survival experts,
Right.
and you're like, geez, look at the effort it took to get one meal.
Yeah, and I'm just sitting on my butt watching Netflix. Can you imagine if it was 5,000 years ago and I'm fasting for 3 days and I'm trying to find
Yeah,
food? I mean, so I don't, probably it would probably be normal for me to exercise and do stuff, but I just choose not to. So
yeah.
maybe I should. I don't know. So.
Well, it's probably like a lot of things you probably have to build into it. If you were
Hmm.
doing this fast like once a month, then you could probably build into
Yeah, I know. I just
getting used to it. So,
no, I just do it twice a year. I mean, twice a year is enough. Maybe 3 times a year would be better. I don't know, but I mean,
so
it
how
kind
you?
of kind of takes over my week. It's so.
Hmm.
I mean, I get work done and stuff, but like my, you'll see. I mean, when you're talking to me on the third day and the fourth day, I'm pretty tired. Maybe a headache. I'm fine now. I'm totally fine. A little tired, but you know, you'll see. You'll see the transformation. The Dr.
Well, I
Jekyll and
look
Mr.
forward to
Hyde.
it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
cool,
you're
man.
off to a good start, so that's a good sign. And
Yep.
we'll talk in the days ahead, see how you're doing, and we'll talk too more about the benefits of fasting
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it to me is one of the most underrated things you can do
Oh,
for your
it's
health.
phenomenal. Yeah, the
Yeah.
benefits are just really unreal. Yeah, looking forward to that.
Okay.
Yep, cool, man.
Have
All right.
fun.
Talk to you tomorrow.
Alrighty. Take
See
care.
you. Bye.
So I guess that's the first question. How do you feel?
Yeah. I feel all right. I mean, not great, but uh, let's see. Bit of a headache all day. My teeth hurt. Believe it or not, all my teeth
Hmm.
are hurting, which has happened before. I don't know why. Kind of an achy feeling, and a little tired. But I did some work today and kind of took my mind off of it, and yeah, just plugging along. End of day two. So surprisingly, I'm not hungry. I don't.
Nice.
My wife made dinner, and I walked right past the kitchen and didn't think twice about it. So I don't know. Weird. Usually the hunger starts like day four for sure. Day four, day
Hmm.
five. Day five is just can't look at just can't look at food at all.
Hmm.
Don't even want to think about it. Yeah, but yeah, plugging away. Tomorrow's the big one. Tomorrow's the big hump day. So that's the day I got
Yeah.
to get through it. So, but,
Are there any mental games you need to play or anything? Like, I know I can go a long time without eating if I'm busy. Like, there's days I don't eat till like 2, 3 o'clock if it's a real busy day, and I'll be like, oh, geez, I haven't eaten yet. But on the flip side, if I'm just sitting around watching football, then all of a sudden you start munching on stuff. So I don't know. Is there a
mm,
strategy you have about that, or?
no, not really. Just yeah, like tomorrow is kind of a day to just watch movies and just relax as much as I can. So I have to do some. I have some work I do have to do, so I can't be a complete vegetable. But I do try to take my mind off it. I don't know. Every fast seems to be different. I mean, I've had some fast where the third day is no big deal, and then 4 and 5 just absolutely suck, and the reverse happens. So I don't know. That's a, it's a good question. I wish I was consistent because then I could plan accordingly. But
Yeah.
you know, so I just try to keep in mind what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, and that if anything, if there's a mental game at all, it's kind of rehashing in my head. Okay, this is why I'm doing it, and but at this point, I've done it so many times that it's just I kind of know what to expect and which way things are going to go.
So why are
So,
you doing it?
like I said yesterday, just health and longevity, and it sounds like it's oversaid a lot, but um, you know to kick in that autophagy process in your body and kill all the bad, poor quality cellular tissue and
Yeah. What is
pre-
autophagy?
autophagy is they call it. It's actually the self eating of your body. So your body's constantly in the process of autophagy. You're constantly breaking down cells and breaking down tissue, but it's at a slower rate when you're eating, especially if you're eating a lot. Um, when you exercise, you break out, you kick in autophagy, and of course, when you fast, you really kick it in. So that's why I do it. It's kind of supercharge that process. So I've read that as you get older, the process of autophagy starts to slow down. So I'm just trying to keep kicking that up.
So it's kind of like the body cleaning house and
Yeah, pretty
taking
much.
out
It's
waste material and
right.
bad cells, bad tissue, and all
All
that.
the bad voodoo that I have inside me. Yeah, yeah, a lot of bedside tissue. I've read some stuff related to breaking down poor quality tissue in terms of scar tissue.
Hmm.
So not that I have a lot of scar tissue, but I've from running. I've got some issues that I deal with, and then also, like I said yesterday, systemic inflammation, bringing down inflammation throughout the entire body.
That's a biggie.
So yeah, um, I do notice like the day or two after my fast, I feel really good, and I've got some shoulder stuff from playing basketball, for years, and so that sometimes gets angry. So yeah, so I just try to kind of clean house every couple of months, twice a year.
So do you feel like the fast like loosens up the joints a bit,
Mm,
or
I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, I when I first started fasting, could feel things like I was really conscious of it. I don't know if I was just trying to feel things, like I was trying to, almost like make it up in my mind. Um, Now it's just become kind of a normal thing that I do. So I'm
yeah?
not really looking for, is it working? Um, I'm pretty convinced it is. So now I just take it as it's kind of a thing I do twice a year. And
Well, it's
well,
not
I
so
think
much.
one of
It
my
is a work.
barometers is,
Go ahead.
pardon me.
Go ahead.
No, I think one of my barometers is not just how I feel, but my performance when I run and I swim, and my ability to work all day and not be tired, and it can. I hate to use the term weight loss because I think it's a crummy reason to lose weight. I mean, if you have to lose, if if fasting is your way of losing weight, you need to find another way to do it, right? Because it's short lived. The weight will come back, some or all of it, depending on what you eat. But
Yeah.
it does regulate blood glucose, and it does reset a lot of things in your body, and I think that does help with weight maintenance, right? Um, but I don't use it for weight loss in any way, shape or
Well,
form.
there's only so much weight you can lose in 5 days. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm 12 to 15 pounds.
yeah, but
You
a
know.
lot of that's water and
Yeah,
stuff that comes
exactly.
back and all that.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
you know,
Yep. Yep.
I mean,
Well,
unless you did.
you're burning. I think, like I said last night, you are burning fat, and you are going into ketosis by the second or third day. So you're starting to burn tissue. I don't think you're burning much muscle, but you're burning fat. So yeah, you are losing weight. It's not water.
Oh,
I mean,
sure.
some of it's water, but not
Yeah,
all
but
of
somebody's got to lose 50 pounds. You're not going to make a
it. Oh
big dent in
no,
it in 5 days. Maybe a 30-day water fast,
right.
but
Although I've heard of people going 30 days, 45 days, and losing like 100 pounds or something like
yeah, that's
that.
pretty
I don't know
crazy.
I don't know
Yeah.
how they do it, and that just seems really dangerous. But maybe not. What do I know? You know, to each his own. I mean, a lot of guys do 7-day, 10-day, and they're perfectly fine. So that's kind of the next thing I guess I'll try. Maybe next year is do a 7-day and see how I do. But beyond that, it's just
Well, let's go to Santa Rosa, do a 30-day.
yeah. Let me know how that works out. Isn't that's Dr. Clapper, right?
He used to work there. What's the gentleman's name that does it now? I'd have to
Hmm,
look it up,
yeah,
but it's a
but
pretty
that's a
well known
pretty.
place.
But don't they have like? Isn't it like you go there and you, for lack of a better term, live there for 3 weeks? You
Mhm.
get a
Yeah.
room and they
Oh,
feed you
it's
and
fully medically supervised, but
right, right,
they're testing you and watching you every day and all that.
right.
It's a very well run clinic that
It's also like
stays
what
on
three,
top
four
of.
grand or something like that.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not cheap, but
Yeah, it ain't
I don't
cheap.
think it's outrageous either.
No, that'd be fun.
But
I think you and I should do that one
actually, I would
weekend.
like to do it.
That'd
Um,
clear you out.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, so day two, fun day
Speaking of
two.
cleaning out, do you poop?
Whatever's left, yeah. I mean, completely clear out your bowels. Yeah, and there's
So even
nothing
after
left.
2 3 days, you're still going, even though
Kind
you're
of
not
depends
shoving
on the
in more
first two
meals, maybe.
days,
Yeah,
but yeah, definitely.
I guess if you're drinking enough water, that'll get things moving.
Yeah, I think the other thing is, like I think I mentioned this yesterday. Um, what you eat in the day or two before has a lot to do probably with what you can expel. Like if you're just eating,
Yeah.
pasta and I don't know, white rice, all the constipating things you could possibly eat, then I guess you're going to have trouble when you're fasting. Because I think some of bowel mobility is based on what you're consuming, right?
Well,
Like
yeah,
what
it's
goes in comes
you
out.
yeah, when you put food in, it pushes the,
Right.
the stuff from yesterday out kind of thing. So
Exactly.
it's like a train going through you. But
Right.
that's why I wonder if you're not
Oh,
adding more food,
yeah.
it's you're not getting that
Eliminating.
pressure to move things
Yeah.
through.
No, I
So,
think there's still that peristalsis, is that? I think
hmm
that's the term.
yeah,
I think it's still active. I mean, I'm an echo chamber. By the time I'm done with this, I know there's nothing left. Um, and that contributes to the weight loss, right? Because you carry 4 pounds of waste, 3 to 4 pounds of waste in you at any one time. I think in your entire track. So yeah, but like I said, I'm not doing it for weight loss. I'm not doing it for anything else
yeah.
than trying to live to 500, whatever my
There
goal
you
is.
go. That's a big way to help. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Well, like I think we've talked about this, in other shows. It's good to live long, but you want to live long and healthy, right? I mean, it
absolutely.
sucks to be unhealthy and still living. So you want to be as vibrant and useful or whatever as you possibly can. So that's why I do it, and the reason why I eat the way I eat and all the exercise that I do. So it's not just fasting; it's other components as well.
Cool.
So I want to ask you, how do I look on day two? Do I look normal or
Yeah.
really? I
hmm
feel kind of slow actually. I feel a little slow,
Yeah.
but yeah, but a little brain fog. But
Well,
we'll
your
see.
body's probably doing a lot of detox and dumping, so that'll drag you down.
Yeah, yeah,
I think that's where drinking a lot of water helps to help flush things out, so they're not just recirculating within your system.
yeah. I drank a 2 liter bottle of water from Trader Joe's today. They have the water with electrolytes, so I drank that. So I'm doing one of those a day, and then my regular, Brita filtered water that I drink. So,
All
so we'll
right.
see how I look tomorrow.
Yeah, well,
We'll
it's
go
not so
from
much how
there.
you look; it's how you feel and
Yeah, yeah,
what
that's
what
true.
gets out of you.
Yeah, yeah. All right, man. I'll catch up with you tomorrow.
Alrighty, have fun.
See ya.
Day 3.
Day
How's
three,
it going?
the fun day three.
Hump
Um,
day.
yeah, hump day is right. You know, I'm I feel pretty good to be honest. Which is unusual because usually the third day really sucks. But I'm tired. It was a little cold earlier, which is weird, and I don't think it's I think, it's 75 degrees out or even 80. So I don't know, felt a little cold and not achy, no headache, which is which is interesting because I had a headache even the first day. So yeah, just plugging along and hopefully, hopefully tomorrow and the last day will be the same, but we'll see. But yeah, not noticing any real change in terms of level of energy. I think I'm still pretty low energy, but I worked today, did some work, and kind of tried to be as normal as I possibly could. So I haven't.
Tried to eat as normal, you said?
No, try to be as normal.
Oh, I think you said tried to eat as
Yeah,
normal. Okay.
a burger and fries. That's not breaking the fast, is it?
Of course not. Drank a lot of water today?
Yeah, I did. I did another big jug or bottle of the water that has electrolytes in it. I think that I think that I mean I'm convinced the electrolyte water makes a big difference because I've done it without
Yeah.
and pretty brutal. So I think the electrolytes really help, and it's not really something your body needs to metabolize, so you're not kicking in your liver and the digestive system. So that's the argument behind not having tea and coffee and vitamins and whatever else is that you're not truly shutting down your digestive system. Not gut, but liver, pancreas, spleen, kidneys, whatever. So
Yeah, there's a lot of debate over that. Like, especially with people who do time restricted eating. They're kind of like, well, if I have coffee, am I still in the window of fasting or not? So, and there's a
yeah,
lot of debate back and forth on that. And if you take a supplement, does that kill the fast or not?
Right.
So
Well, I guess you have to define intermittent. I mean, if intermittent is the eight, what is it, 8-16? So you eat for 8 hours and you don't eat for 16, or
there's various windows. Some people
yeah,
don't eat for like 20 hours and they eat for 4.
yeah,
And
that's kind of tough. I mean, I think that's tough to do unless you have a job where you can make that happen. I don't
sure.
know. I think my thing is I try to eat within an 8 hour window normally.
Hmm.
I kind of fudge that from time to time, but I try to stick to an 8 hour window. I think I forget his name. Last name's Panda. He's done research at UCSD, and he recommends 12, just 12 and 12, because your liver actually runs out of glucose in 8 hours. So you already get kicked over into fasting, right? Because you don't have any, unless you're eating,
Hmm.
unless you're consuming carbohydrate, your liver's exhausted its glucose its glucose stores, so you're burning fat at that point. So I guess it depends on how much you want to burn, how many hours in a day you want to burn fat. But
Yeah.
I think 8 and 16 is pretty reasonable. I think you can do. I mean, 8 and 16,
Yeah.
or even 9 and whatever whatever the math is.
Well, it's personal. It's whatever you can
Yeah.
do, you know. My sister does a 4-hour window.
Damn.
So, yeah. I I do 6 a lot of days, but a lot of days it's 8 or 9. So,
Now, when you're not eating, is it you're not eating?
mm,
So no coffee, no tea, no
yep.
Ben and Jerry's. No.
Yeah, I'm kind of weird. I've actually been doing it for decades without really thinking
Oh.
of it as time restricted eating because
Hmm.
I've never eaten breakfast. I've just never
Yeah, I
been a
remember that
breakfast
about you.
eater.
You're not a breakfast guy.
Yeah, so I get
My
up at
son's
8
not a
and
breakfast guy either. So.
yeah, so I'd get up at 8 and go to work, go to school, and now in my 20s I used to snack a lot even in the morning.
Yeah.
So, but once I kind of got out of that, then I wouldn't eat lunch till noonish, whatever.
Mm.
So I'd be like a noon, and then I'd eat till
Right.
7, 8, 9 o'clock at night. And again, I wasn't trying to do some kind of fasting thing. I was just kind of my natural
Hmm.
biorhythm. So, and then I
Right.
kind of learned about time restricted eating about a year ago, and then I started going, oh, I'm kind of already there. So it
Hmm. Hmm.
made it easier for me because I'm just used to it. So,
Yeah.
so I just kind of shortened it down. So now I shoot for like noon to about 7. So
Wow.
sometimes it goes 11 to 8, sometimes it goes 1 to 6.
Right.
So yeah.
But you're getting what, 14, 15 hours of fasting in.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Good for you.
Yeah, I love it. And I do notice that right around 11 in the morning, the hunger pains start to kind of kick in a little bit. So
I bet.
that's where the challenge starts kicking in. It's not much, but
Hmm.
we mentioned yesterday or the day before where if I'm busy, then it's not an issue. I just get through it. I mean,
Hmm.
if I'm real busy, I'll get to 2 or 3 and be like, oh crap, I haven't eaten yet, and not even notice it. But most of the time, I'll be like, I start getting that little, ooh, it's time to
Right.
eat.
Right. Now, are you
So
doing that primarily for weight loss or just general health, or?
general health.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, I
Now,
wanted
one thing
to.
I notice,
Go ahead.
and I wonder if you get this
Mm.
in spades, is when I do it, that first meal tends to taste really good. It's something about, I don't know, depriving yourself, whatever it is, but food just tends to taste better. I
Oh,
wonder
the morning of
if
the
you get
sixth
that
day, I
after a
enjoy every
5 day.
time.
Yeah, I can
On the morning
imagine.
of the
Yeah,
sixth day, it's like yogurt is
like
like,
yeah,
fantastic that
celery
day.
stick is
And
like the most awesome thing ever.
you're just so happy to start eating again, believe me.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I haven't been hungry today at all. As a matter of fact, my wife brought home veggie grill for dinner, and I could smell it, but I wasn't like, oh my god, you're torturing me. Eat outside.
Well, that's pretty
So
cool. You don't have any big cravings.
yeah, no, I generally don't. I generally have, regardless of which fast I've done, whether it's gone well or been kind of rough, I don't tend to get I don't get cravings, and I don't get particularly hungry. So maybe the fifth day I do, actually. Maybe the fifth day I do, but depends. Like I said, at the beginning of this series, I haven't had a consistent fast yet. I'm either like right now would be like a really bad day for me, or tomorrow it's kind of rough or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think I'm getting better at it. I kind of know what to expect, and it's a bit of a mental game too, you know. So keeping yourself busy and occupied, and you know, generally, yeah, occupied would be a good word. Hey, we were talking about last night. We were talking, or yesterday. We were talking about some of the benefits of fasting, and I
Mhm.
just wanted to review something specific about the liver. Um, One thing that people don't understand is when you do fasting, you're impacting those organs, especially the longer you fast. But even intermittent fasting. So, the liver, its primary function is to produce bile and excrete bilirubin and cholesterol and hormones, and also metabolize fats and proteins and cholesterols, and it's a storehouse for glucose. I mean, your liver holds, like I said, about 8 hours of glucose in it. And anyway, so what happens in fasting, when you go into fasting, or when you're in a fasting mode, and this could even be for intermittent fasting, um, after about 8 hours, when that glucose reserve is depleted from the liver, your body goes into something called gluconeogenesis, which is a fasting state where your body starts to, well, because you're not consuming carbs, because you're not consuming anything to replace that, and there's no glucose left in the body, your body starts to use fat, right? So your body starts to need to get energy from somewhere, so it starts burning fat, and then your liver starts to process fat for metabolism. So um, to some degree there is a fat loss component to fasting. Now I don't say that you should fast to lose weight. I don't think that's the right way to do it. As a matter of fact, if you're obese, or if you have a lot of um, health issues, right? I won't go into rattling them all off, but if you're obese, or you have a lot of pre-existing conditions, let's say, fasting is not really a good way to start losing weight, right? You should start by actually modifying your diet, doing all the obvious things,
Mhm.
reducing meat consumption, and um, just poor quality food, right? Fast food, and high fat, high saturated fats, and
Back to what you're saying about the liver and just fasting to improve your health.
mm-hmm,
I started looking more into that, like what's the science behind that?
mm-hmm,
Is there science behind it and all
mm-hmm,
that? And I came up with a couple of interesting things. First of all, they have shown scientifically that fasting does decrease your biological age.
mm-hmm,
If they look at things like your telomeres and that, there is a definite beneficial effect to it.
mm-hmm.
One thing they see is it boosts your NAD levels,
Mm-hmm.
which is known to be a pretty big factor in longevity, and kind of a outgrowth of that. And other reasons too is
Mm-hmm.
fasting reduces your inflammation overall.
Mm-hmm.
It also reduces the growth hormone, what's that called? IGF-1,
Mm-hmm.
which is also implicated in cancer growth.
Mm-hmm.
So they're actually seeing now evidence that fasting helps fight off cancer.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, from what I've read, it kills precancerous cells. It basically, cancerous tissue, cancerous cellular tissue is poor quality tissue. It's
Yeah,
right. It's not as healthy or strong as our normal cells. So when you start basically starving, for lack of a better term, starving your body of nutrients, and putting your body into that autophagy process, those those are the first things to go. You know,
absolutely.
um, so yeah, that makes total sense. Makes total sense.
And my favorite fact, the longest fast on record
Oh,
is
geez.
Angus Barbieri, who fasted for 382 days.
No way. How do
Yeah,
you?
so you only have 379 more days to go.
Yeah, I'll pass.
He went from, get this, he went from 456 pounds to 180 pounds.
Yeah. So it's burning all
That's
those fat
insane.
stores. Now that was a water fast that whole
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
Holy cow!
yeah. It was medically supervised, and they said there was no ill effects from it.
Wow,
So you imagine that though, going over a year fasting?
that's crazy.
That's insane. Yeah, it's a lot of weight to lose. Jeez.
Oh my God. 400 and how many?
456 to 180.
180. Good for that guy.
Yeah. Hey,
I don't know if I
hey,
could do
got a
that,
lot of
man. That would
benefits.
be brutal.
That's, I'm sure that was pretty intense at times.
Now he couldn't have had a job. Well, I guess it would be depending on what kind of job he had and if he had a family and because when you have
Yeah, I don't know the
yeah,
background
I
of
mean
the
if you
guy,
have
but
a if you have a family at home and the kids are eating and your wife's making all this good stuff and cookies and God knows what
oh
else,
yeah, without a doubt, it's
it'd be hard for
incredibly
that to
hard
go a
to do what
year.
he did. So,
Wow,
um, well,
very cool. That's interesting.
yeah, I wonder how old the guy is if he's still around. Hey, might be somebody to interview.
Oh heck yeah, definitely.
I'll have to dig that up. I
Gee, now I
think
feel like I'm a
it
wimp.
was a while ago. Yeah,
Now I
you
feel
are
kind
one.
of wimpy just doing 5 days.
And get this, something I never heard of. There's actually a thing called dry fasting,
Yeah,
where you fast, no water, no liquids, nothing. So now that's considered dangerous,
yeah.
and
I
we
don't.
definitely
Yeah.
do not
Speaking of
recommend
water,
that.
yeah.
Um, but I guess people do it. I guess you never do that more than a day.
Yeah, how
And they
would you?
consider
Yeah,
one day of dry fasting is supposedly equal to 3 days of a regular fast. But again, not something we recommend. But
I wonder
it's
because
fascinating.
yeah, because you're trying to cleanse. I mean, like again, you're trying to cleanse your system of toxins. So how is it going to get out if you're not drinking water
Yeah,
and flushing out your system?
absolutely. Yeah, I don't see what the benefit of that would even
Hmm.
be. Why would you even want to do that? It just seems like a
Yeah.
water fast is just a much better idea and much safer.
Well, there's a
So
lot of yeah, there's a lot of I think there's a lot of misinformation. I've heard about it, so I'm not going to discount it. But there's a lot of misinformation about fasting.
sure.
I mean, there's so much just junk out there.
Well, you really get into it. There's a lot of varieties of fasting. There's juice fasting,
Yeah.
and there's a fasting mimicking diet, and there's intermittent fasting,
Hmm.
and there's a lot of flavors of
Hmm.
fasting. So
Hmm.
yeah, but the oldest one that we know is what you're doing, just pure water, nothing else, and doing that for a day, 3 days, 5 days, whatever, 30 days even. So yeah,
No,
one day we got to
I'm
go up to
eating on
Santa
day
Rosa.
6, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll be 15 pounds lighter by the 6th day. I'm going to eat something. So, I mean, that's the
awesome.
thing. I don't have a lot to lose. Well, I don't have a lot to lose, so I got to be conscious of that. I mean, I guess I could go 7 days. I think next time I do this, if we ever, I'll do this. I'll do a 7 day. See how I do.
Okay,
But yeah, 5.
good
I'm,
deal.
I'm good on
Well,
5. So
keep it up.
yeah, all right. 3 down, 2
Let's
to go,
talk tomorrow.
baby.
Alrighty, hump day's over.
It is.
Sleep well.
It is.
And it's day 4 of the big fast. How
Yeah,
you
day 4.
feeling? It's almost over.
Oh God, I'm so ready to be done with this.
Starting to get a little rough now, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I worked all day today, which actually is good because it takes my mind off things. But yeah, just getting tired. End of the day too, gets getting tired. But I'm plugging along. Still, focusing on what I'm doing and why I'm doing, and that keeps me moving forward. But one more day to go. So day 4 is down, and one more day.
So, I mean, what are you fighting? Just fatigue or cravings or both or pain or?
No, no, no. I barely had kind of headache off and on, but not really.
Mhm.
Um, just tired, you know, tired. I had to do a lot of reading and writing today online, so that was kind of using my brain. But yeah, I'm all right.
How'd
All
you
right.
sleep last night?
Lousy, not very good.
Oh, you didn't have a good
A
sleep,
lot of
huh?
tossing and turning. Yeah, I don't know why.
Hmm.
Usually that's not the case. So, but there's a lot going on in my body right now, right? I'm past the 72 hours, so
Yeah.
that's when things really, really start kicking in. The autophagy is hitting. A lot of cellular breakdowns happening right now. All the cells that are poor quality or have an inability to repair, those are dying off, and that's happening across my body. You know,
Sure.
liver, kidneys, spleen, everything, gut, skin. You lose a lot of skin cells. during this time. So everything is getting, kind of reprocessed. And I'm kicking off a lot of stem cells, hopefully too, right? All the stem cell
That's the
generation
idea.
that goes with this, and starts, starts replace. Well, actually, the stem cell regeneration is through the entire fasting process after 48 to 72 hours, and then once I start eating again, after tomorrow, then all the regeneration starts. So all the cells start to begin to regenerate. Um, I was actually reading some. You made a comment about memory the other day, and the hippocampus in the brain is a area of the brain that has a lot of regeneration during fasting. So it's an area where there's memory and stress responses, and it can regenerate cells. And then obviously pancreas and colon, and skin and other liver, right? All the organs tend to shrink down as the cells are being replaced, or the cells are being broken down and metabolized. So I got all that to look forward to.
Well, that's the
So the
idea.
first,
Your body's in deep repair, and that's why you're tired. But that's the
exactly,
ultimate benefit
right,
once you get through it, and then you'll
right,
be healthier at the end of it.
right. And so another interesting thing is, I was talking, was yesterday or the day before, I can't remember, about the glucose depletion in the liver. And after 8 hours, you start to burn fat for energy, and that process, actually, that fat burning process, drives the stem cell production, right? So it's that whole cycle of um, glucose no longer being readily available in the body. So the liver has to break down fat. That whole cycle actually feeds into stem cell regeneration. So, and that's really, I mean, that's really the biggie, right? Is stem cell regeneration, because unless you're a newborn, you don't generate stem cells the way you do in a fast. I think that's why people do 7-day fasts and 10-day fasts, is because they're just cranking out stem cells. But
Yeah. Yeah, well, the two
I'm a
biggies
5-day guy.
are the stem cells, autophagy. Well, actually, there's the third biggie is the inflammation.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, my wife is having dinner tonight, and it's funny because, bless her heart, she decided to support my fast this time by not cooking all my favorite stuff. So she's gone like full on raw vegan.
Mm-hmm.
So, no salt, no sugar, no oils, no this, no that. And she's just eating the most bland stuff on the planet, and she's working on her PhD in nutrition. So she's really into it now. But she was eating a salad, and I just had no interest in eating it whatsoever. I've done that raw vegan stuff before, and I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to eat food that has no taste. So, well, it has no taste for me, and I guess that's retraining your. Some people say that's retraining, isn't it? Like retraining your taste buds or something like that.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
After a while, you get used to it, I guess. But
Well, it depends on what raw food you're talking about too. I mean, there's a big difference between eating kale versus
mm.
blueberries. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, if you're eating blueberries or bananas, fine. But if you're eating red leaf lettuce, was it red leaf lettuce, and I think it was celery and lemon juice. I don't know what it was. It's like, no, thank you. Anyway, so point
Actually,
is,
I've gotten to that
I'm
point,
not
right,
being
where I
tempted.
do look forward to a salad. Can't
Yeah,
say I
you put something
crave
on
a
it, don't you?
salad.
Do you have a salad with no dressing?
Yeah, some dressing, but it's not like I'm putting ice cream on it or anything.
No, but does it have oil and salt and vinegar on it?
Yeah, some vinegar. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's not doing any of that. So make a
Yeah.
salad
But my
with the
point is,
blandest stuff you
though,
can
is
think of and put zero on it with
yeah.
lemons.
But my point is, your palate does change.
I
The
guess.
idea
I
that
don't
I
know.
look for, yeah, it does. If
I don't know.
you
You
start
say
eating a
so.
lot of vegetables, most people when they start, if they go from a standard American diet to a vegetarian diet, they're kind of like vegetables. Vegetables
Yeah.
suck,
Okay.
But then over time, you learn that, oh, I really like these vegetables, or I like that vegetable, kind of thing. But that
Yeah.
doesn't come overnight. That comes after
Yeah.
doing it for a while. Like I can eat a plate of broccoli and love that. I just love
with nothing
breakfast.
on it,
Hmm.
raw.
Hmm. Well,
You're
I'd
an
rather have it
you're an
cooked, but
animal. See, I'm Italian. I can't do that. There's just something wired in my Italian brain that doesn't allow me to
yeah,
do
no,
that.
but see, that's psychology. It's not physical. It's
Oh, it's not a good excuse. I'm just saying
yeah.
it.
What
You
I'm
know,
saying though is you that's because you're not used to it. So most people aren't.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, no cravings. I'm not hungry, which is weird. It's just weird. I'm not hungry.
Well,
Literally.
that's
I mean, if
good.
you
That
put a
makes it
salad,
easier.
well, I think if you put lasagna in front of me, I'd probably break down.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Day 5 is usually when I get hungry. Day 5 is like, as I remember, it's like craving time. So I'm really hoping
Yeah.
my day 5 is better than today because today was like the day 3. But overall, it hasn't been bad. Like I said, I think I'm getting used to the fasting process, and this is my 6th 5-day fast. 3 years, yeah, 6, 7, somewhere in there. So I'm kind of getting. I guess I'm getting used to it. I don't know. Depends. It depends. So good times.
Yeah. Well, you know the process. It's not new, so that
Mm-hmm.
helps. You have a
Mm-hmm.
stored history of it. So well,
Mm-hmm.
getting back to the cravings and what you like and all, have you noticed when, especially in your first fast, that after the fast it changes your relationship with food at all?
Oh,
Are you like more in charge of your cravings? Are you
I don't
you're not
really
a big
crave
emotional
things.
eater, but
No,
I
I'm
mean,
not an emotional eater at all. No, matter of fact, I don't know if you know this about me, but I could pretty much eat the same thing every day. I really don't. I mean,
yeah,
my family makes fun of me that I could eat the same thing every day. I mean, I don't, but I'm not really food driven that much. I like good food, and I know good food from bad food, and I eat
hmm,
well, but I could eat the same thing for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It seems, but yeah,
yeah,
I
that's
don't really
kind of
have
unique. Yeah,
crave. Yeah, I don't really have cravings per se. Um, yeah, I don't really have cravings. Mm-mm.
well, that makes
I
it
don't
easier.
know. I don't know. It's a good question. I don't think I do. Now, my wife may say otherwise, but I don't think I have cravings. But if I, sometimes I want Italian food, sometimes I want Thai food,
Hmm.
sometimes I want, but I don't consider that a craving. I consider that a choice. I don't wake
Yeah,
up in the
I
middle of the
mean,
night.
when
I
we
need
talk
to
about
have something.
cravings, we're talking about like, oh my god, I gotta have
Yeah,
it, or
right.
yeah, well, that's good. That makes
I'm
life
not really a
easier.
foodie. You're a foodie, though, aren't you? I mean, you're really into.
Not really, but
No.
no, I'm not a foodie at all. But I do have certain things that
Mm-hmm.
it's hard for me to stop doing, like drinking a soda or
Mm-hmm.
um. Actually, I don't have a lot, but I have a few things that
Mm-hmm.
are hard for me to cut out of my diet. So,
Mm-hmm.
but for the most part, I'd say probably 80% of the foods I eat aren't really. I could
Mm-hmm.
easily give them up. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Like I like pizza a lot, but if I went 2 months without pizza, I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't be having pizza dreams or anything.
Right.
So, like to me, that's kind of what a craving is when you're like, you feel like really deprived if you don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So, do you think this process of you watching me slowly deteriorate over 4 days is this something you want to try?
oh, actually, I do. I
Fasting?
definitely do.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, when the timing's right. So,
Right.
I actually joked about it, but I actually we would like to do the 30 day or so. But that's a big
Yeah. You
commitment.
got to go. You got to get doctor supervision for that one.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
yeah. I'd
slapper.
go to the clinic. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but obviously it's a big time and money commitment. So,
Yeah. Yeah. That would be. Now that's the thing you do is a transformational process, and then there's something like I think if you did something like that, or I think if anybody would do something like that, you have to build up to that with like really changing your diet so it doesn't become a weight loss thing. It just becomes a health thing for all the benefits that you're getting from fasting. Say that you would actually have a diet change. And the reason I say that is because when you get on the backside of that 30 days and you go home and you start eating the way you eat, or your average American would eat, all that weight would come back and kind of undo all the things that you did.
well, I wouldn't do it for weight gain. I'd do it for overall health.
Right, weight loss. I mean, yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. But to maintain, because you're going to lose a lot of weight in 30 days, and you're going to
Hmm.
change the change the way you look and feel. Excuse me. And you want to have a diet, some kind of change in eating habits to support that. I don't know what I'm burping. So
Yeah, no, I'm not saying I'd go back to eating a standard American diet right after it, but I eat pretty well anyhow. So,
yeah, right.
um,
Cool, man. Well, day 4 is done. I'm ready for day 5. I'm ready for morning 6, actually.
well, I would
But
assume tomorrow goes by pretty fast, right? Once you
I
get
hope
up and
so. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm going into work tomorrow, believe it or not. So I'm
you
busy.
eat tomorrow night or Sunday morning.
Sunday, yeah, 6th day morning, morning of the 6th day.
Oh, okay, so you still got
So
like
it's 5.5 days.
so you got 2 more nights
Hmm.
of dealing with it. So okay,
Yeah, yeah. You know why I do that is because I want to wake up the next day and start having um, yogurt and fruit and whatever, and I want to
mm-hmm.
be able to metabolize it, and you know, I don't want to get stomach ache when I'm sleeping and stuff like that. Because it can, depending on what you eat, it can be a little upsetting.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be careful. So I don't want to go to bed with with food in my stomach. I want to wake up in the morning and go
Mm-hmm.
through the process of eating. So
That makes sense.
yeah, so it works out to be 5.5 days. This has worked for me. I've tried that where you eat at night, the night of. So I eat tomorrow night, but it didn't work out well because
Yeah, I
I'm
was
going
about
to
to
sleep
say
and
if that first meal doesn't go down well, then it ruins your
yeah,
sleep.
yeah, or it doesn't stay in one place. So, but but yeah, it's not. I'm going to wake up, the morning of the 6th day and go have bacon and eggs. Well, not bacon, but I
Yeah,
mean, go have eggs and whatever toast or whatever I would eat. You know.
cool.
So yeah. Anyway, that's the dealio.
Sleep well.
Yep. I'll talk
Talk
to
to
you
you
tomorrow,
soon.
buddy.
Eddie,
Yeah.
take care.
Later.
All right, day 5 of the fast. And Hippocrates once said, to eat when you're sick is to feed your sickness. Thought that was apropos.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So the man knew what he was talking about way back
Way
when.
back, what, 20 years ago?
So day 5, how you feeling?
Yeah. Today was good. I went to work today, and yeah, I was feeling good till around 2 o'clock, and then started to tank. But yeah, I'm just ready to eat, man. I'm ready to get this over with. Yeah, it always is the same thing. I keep going, and by day 5, it's like I'm done, man. Just I'm done. I want to eat. I want to get back to normal. Just feeling energy wise, and get back to running and doing stuff that I like to do. So it does take the wind out of you. I was talking to somebody today about this, and she was really interested in it, and she said she asked me a question that is pretty common. You hear this online, and you read this about this mental clarity thing that people experience after 4 days or 5 days, and I've never experienced it. And I was thinking, either I'm always mentally clear, or one thing came into my mind is, if you have the typical American diet, or even the atypical American diet, where you don't eat well, you don't take care of yourself, or you smoke or drink, or I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
whatever your habits are, and you kind of have this brain fog, um, or you have candida or something like that can cause that. When you do go through the fast and you clear all that stuff out of your system, you probably do have sort of an awakening, right? You do have a clarity that you are not normally used to. Or if you're always stressed, right? If you're always under tremendous amounts of stress, one thing fast does is it puts the brakes on what you do during the day. So it kind of, doesn't knock the wind out of you, but it definitely, sets you back, and your energy levels are down, and you're just trying to cope. And if it's the first time you've done it, there's a lot of mental gymnastics you're going through, and is this the right thing to do, and maybe I should stop, and whatever. So maybe that sort of de-stress, or that bringing that calmness to yourself is a way of mental clarity. But I haven't experienced it, so either I'm mentally clear or I'm mentally fogged, and nothing can fix it. But
Well, I've heard that quite a bit too. And it's not just being mentally clear, but it's like this profound
yeah,
level of like, oh my God, I got another gear in my brain that
right.
I didn't even know I had. So,
Hmm.
maybe it pops for you on day
That
6 or day
yeah,
7,
that's another thing.
Um, so I guess that's maybe a reason to do a longer fast to see if that happens.
Well,
So
it's funny. It was about 10, 11 o'clock today, and I felt pretty good. I mean, no headache. I wasn't really tired. I wasn't hungry. And I was thinking, yeah, I could probably do a day 6 if I wanted to. But now it's like, no, it's just around the corner. My wife went shopping, bought all the yogurt and fruit and stuff that I need for tomorrow. So I'm ready to dig in, man. Ready to get back to imbibing. Plus, I feel pretty light right now. I don't know what I weigh, but lost a few pounds. So
yeah, to me, it's probably like a marathon. The first time you run 10 miles, you're probably like,
right,
no way I'm doing another 16.
right,
You're like, screw that. I'm just going
yeah,
to do one more mile and go home,
mm-hmm,
but, and you're hurting, you're legitimately hurting, but
mm-hmm,
you're like, well, do two more. And then you do two more. And then,
right,
I'm sure fasting's the same thing. You can't fathom doing another 15 days, but,
yeah,
you're like, well, I'll just do another and see what happens and do another, and,
yeah. Day 4 for me is
um,
like mile 20 in a marathon. It's like you just hit that point where like I really don't want to keep doing this, but you
but,
do.
I
You
always
get to the end
consistently
because
hear,
you have to
good.
go on.
I always consistently hear people when they do long fasts, they hit a point where they just have nothing for food anymore.
Yeah.
They don't even think about food. They don't
Mm-mm.
crave it. It's just, and I'm sure it's very individual as to when
Mm-hmm.
somebody hits that.
Yeah, somebody told me once that when you're hungry, you feel it in your throat. Like when you're to the point of you really need okay, enough's enough. You need to eat. You
Hmm.
somehow feel it in your throat. I don't know what that feeling is, but past fast, I have had cravings like day 4, day 5, but not this time. I'm not hungry. My wife ate dinner and she actually looked really good, but again, it's a little mental warfare in
Hmm.
respect that why are you doing it? Right? If it's a goof, if you're doing it as a goof or a bet, or then you're going to probably cave pretty quickly. But if you're on purpose, if there's a reason you're doing it and you understand the physiology behind it
Hmm.
and why you're doing it, then you've got a purpose and then you've got a goal and you've got a reason to do
Yeah.
it, and you almost don't want to stop, unless you
Yeah.
pass out, you black out or something like that. But
Well, then you should stop.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, you get lightheaded, like you get up too fast, and your blood pressure is lower when you're fasting.
Yeah.
So
That's where
yeah,
you
you
gotta.
do have to be careful. I mean, but I've kind of dealt with that one all my life. I've had low blood pressure for years, and through some running and stuff, and my height. So yeah, I used to have face plant when I was a kid. When I was growing up, I was really tall and skinny, and
Oh, really?
oh yeah, I used to. When I was 12, 13, I mean, I just face plant all the time. Yeah, it
Oh,
was.
well.
Should have worn a helmet to school or something, but yeah, I was
Yikes.
really
That's kind of
tall. Yeah, I was
dangerous.
almost as tall as I am now in ninth grade, 10th grade,
Huh.
and really skinny. Yeah,
That's
so
crazy.
I had trouble with that equilibrium and getting up too fast or jumping out of bed. Forget about it. I jump out of
Hmm.
bed. I just yeah. But that's my physiology. So I'm not. And I'm saying other people might not have that at all. So anyway, but
So what's the strategy? Tonight's the last night. You wake up tomorrow, and what do you do in the morning?
yeah. So I've got some yogurt. I've got this. It's called Cocoyo, Cocoyo, and it's a coconut based yogurt, but it's got a lot of probiotics in it. And then there's another one. I forget the name. It's kind of a smaller jar, but it's just as good. So I've got those for my probiotics, to get the bacteria back in my system. And then a lot of fruit, bananas tend to go down well. Some citrus.
Hmm.
Probably do that in the afternoon, and then my wife will probably make something with vegetables or something in the evening. Not too, basically I've learned, for me personally, so everybody's different, is just stay away from spicy food. So if I don't try to have, a burrito for dinner or like super heavy, like pasta with
Yeah,
sauce.
I
Like
would
that.
think you want to eat stuff that's easy to
Yeah,
digest, like fruit,
exactly. Fruit and
and stuff that builds the digestion, like the
exactly,
yogurt.
exactly. Yeah, because there's enzymes in fruit, right? Yeah, so I do that, and that's the plan. And and take it easy because it takes a while to get your energy back. And my energy really won't be back until the day after tomorrow. Um, but maybe go for a walk. I've really been dying to get out and do something. So maybe in the evening I'll go for a walk. It's not too hot. And then the next day, pretty much back to normal. My normal diet, which is vegan anyway, so it's not like I'm
So your
eating
first heavy
steak and
meal would
potatoes.
be
What?
the day after,
Hmm.
then? Okay.
Well, not a heavy meal, but a normal meal. So I think the
Well,
heaviest,
yeah, I mean, whatever,
yeah,
just
yeah. But I'm not gonna go out
your
for
standard.
like pizza or something like that. I mean, beer, I'll probably still be conservative, but not not necessarily too worried about what I eat. So, but I probably wouldn't go for Thai food or something like that. So yeah, probably a couple of days till I'm like do whatever the heck I want.
Okay.
Um, and that's all just based on your ability to digest. And you've gone through. I mean, I've gone through a lot, right? I mean, I put my body
Sure.
through the paces. Um, so yeah, and just try to slowly work back into it. Mm-hmm.
How'd you sleep last night?
Lousy. Toss and turn.
Again, really?
Yeah, it's
Interesting.
weird. Normally I sleep like a baby every night, but now I toss and turn. I don't know what's going on. Too much between the ears, I guess.
Any thoughts going through your mind at all, or
No, no,
anything you were digesting mentally?
mm-mm, no.
No,
Pretty much,
just couldn't sleep.
yeah. I just couldn't sleep. I mean, I'm thinking about stuff I'm doing, or the shows we're doing, stuff like that. But no, nothing bothering
Okay.
me. It just Well, one thing to keep in mind is because I'm not too active, I'm not really burned out at the end of the day. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's not my normal activity
So you
level.
have a little more energy than
Yeah,
normal.
maybe. I don't know.
Well, that'd do it.
Yeah, but didn't sleep all that well. I mean, okay. I mean, enough to function, but
Any headaches or detox symptoms at all?
no, no. I mean, I'm just tired. I'm just tired now.
So overall, it sounds like it's been a pretty easy fast.
It has. Yeah, I think day 4 was about the worst, but that pales in comparison to past fast. And I don't know. It's just maybe I'm getting more used to it, or just got lucky. Because I've had some fasts in the past where day 3 and day 4 were really lousy.
Yeah.
Like I really almost wanted to give up, but I kept going. But yeah, nothing to speak of. So I don't know. But everybody's different, and again,
Well, I'm sure every fast has kind of its own personality
right.
in a sense.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what the contributing factors are to that. I mean, I know there's guys that on YouTube or whatever that talk about building up for a week and this, that, and the other, and I can definitely see that
Mhm.
if you don't have a good diet, right, and you're just not healthy. Yeah, you want to build up to it. But my diet's pretty clean and pretty solid, so I don't really go through a big detox, I think, as I used to. So when I first started, I mean, my diet was okay, but now it's there's not much to detoxify. So I'm really doing this for autophagy and stem cell generation and rebooting your immune system. It does a real job on your white blood
Yeah.
cells, reboots your immune system, and clears out your gut, and makes you 2 inches taller and a better dancer. I don't
Awesome.
know.
Well, there's a reason to do it.
Exactly. So cool, man. So let's catch up. Unless you have anything else to add, we can catch up in a
Yep.
couple of days.
That's it. Sounds good.
All right, bud.
You're at the finish line. So have a good sleep tonight, and we'll chat soon.
Can't
and
wait for the morning.
Good job.
Yeah,
Day
thanks.
5.
All right, buddy.
Yeah, I'm sure that food will taste good tomorrow.
Oh, it's gonna be like a banquet.
Good deal.
All right, see you.
Well done.
Thanks, man.
And it's the post-mortem to the fast. It's the post-fast. It's the break fast. So anyhow, Mark has finished the fast. He's still alive and kicking. And how you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. It's been a few days. Yeah, it was that was an unusual one. It was not as rough as past experiences. Um, I think looking back, day four was probably the roughest day.
Hmm.
I tried to put a happy face on that day. I don't know if I pulled it off. But yeah, day four was a little rough. Really exhausted, headache. Feeling kind of slow mentally. And then sort of picked up on day five, and then day six was just getting back in the swing of things and trying to eat and you know get back to normal. So it's been a few days. Um, let's see, day six, the day I started with some yogurt in the morning, and started building that probiotic um, foundation in my gut, and had some fruit, and was feeling okay, and kind of moving along at usual clip, and then I got a bad stomach ache. I don't know what happened, and nothing stayed in me for about 2 days. So I went
Really?
from,
Mm.
yeah, it's weird. Not normally that never happens. Normally my sixth day is pretty dull. I keep it dull. Um, I don't eat, I don't eat anything crazy. I don't try to, uh, eat things that I know are not going to digest. But it was just weird. I got to about noon, 1 o'clock, and then all of a sudden it just was not working, and it really took it took almost 2 days to start to be able to keep food in me. It was just not staying in. That's the best way I could put it. And I'm not sure what it was. I think maybe my wife said maybe I overdid it on the probiotics because I had Kokio, which is a pretty strong probiotic. It's actually there's only 2 servings. It's supposed to be 2 servings per jar, and I eat the whole jar. But I always do. I always do the same thing. And then I had some fruit that day. This is the day after the sixth day. I had some fruit, and then for some reason I don't know why I had another probiotic, but I had a BioK. Actually, I've got the bottle right here. It's this stuff. And can you see that?
Hmm.
It's called BioK. It's this one is blueberry. It's fermented rice. This is fermented rice.
That's
So
like a medical grade
yeah,
probiotic, isn't it?
yeah. But you see, I've had these before. So I couldn't remember when we were talking about this on day two. I couldn't remember the name, but then I went and bought it at the store. So so I had the Kokio, which should be enough. And then I had a banana and some fruit or whatever, and then I had this, and that's when things kind of went sideways. Now I've done it before, um, and never had a problem. So, I mean, the banana was a little ripe, maybe I don't know, and then there was, but it was just weird. It was just weird, and then it shot me. I mean, just like that was it, man. It was like for the next 24 hours, pointless. Matter of fact, I kind of had another day fast, really, because I was trying not to eat
Mm.
because I want to stabilize my gut, right? Because
Yeah.
it's just I'm not holding anything in; it's just coming straight out. Um, so it was like another day for me, which was unintended. And then that night, and I didn't eat any more probiotics too. And then until like that evening, and then I had a yogurt, which is kind of a difference called Culina, Culina. It's a different type of yogurt, and it doesn't have as many probiotics, I guess. Anyway, yeah, it was just weird. So that's the thing about this stuff is you don't really know. You don't really have a truly consistent response every time, right? Like I was telling you in the first, I think it was the first or second day we were doing the discussions. I was saying, oh, if day three is, hell, I'm going to look like, Quasimodo and blah, blah, blah. And day three, was really not that bad. I mean, day four really was not that bad. I mean, it was the worst of the 5 days that I did, but it wasn't, putting me on my back. I mean, I have days where I just don't get out of bed. It's pointless. I'm really exhausted. So it really depends, and that's why I think, when you do this stuff, you have to be conscious of what you're doing and careful, and kind of roll the punches, and not try to go into work every day or drive on the freeway, for an hour each way in your commute and stuff like that. You really have to be conscious and respect the fact that you're putting your body through its paces. And then, when you get out of, when you're on the backside of the fast, anything can happen too. Like this stupid thing that I had with the probiotics. I think I overdid it. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And then the day 3 after my fast, I was fine. I was okay. And then things kind of settled down, and it's back to my normal self. So it took like 4 days for me to get back to square one. 4 days to get back to
interesting.
Yeah, and I lost 16 pounds. So
16 pounds. Wow.
Yeah, because I always weigh
That's a
myself.
lot.
Yeah, so what I do, and I didn't go into details of this on the original on the first day, but what I do is I weigh myself in my birthday suit. I weigh myself the morning of the first day, right? Not that evening, but the morning of the first day. Go to the bathroom, whatever your usual things you do in the morning. And then I weigh myself, and then I note that down. And then the morning of the 6th day, right, which is 5.5 days in, right, the morning of the 6th day, I weigh myself again. So that gives me a barometer of what I weighed. So 16 pounds. And I haven't weighed myself since. I don't know. I think I've gained, obviously, a few pounds back. But
Sure.
yeah. But that's
pretty normal. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still light. I mean, I can tell just by, even though I didn't weigh myself, just the way my pants fit, how tight I have to make my belt or something like that. But yeah, so yeah, it was interesting.
Well, I almost wonder if that was like a delayed kind of detox reaction, because it doesn't seem like you really had any detox symptoms
Yeah,
in the first 5 days.
I know. Yeah.
So maybe, once your body got a little bit of help, the probiotics, then it was like, oh, okay, now we can start flushing things that
Maybe.
we didn't flush in the first 5 days. You don't really know unless you did samples and, took it to a lab or something. But, that's what it sounds like to me. Like, just kind of a delayed detox in a sense.
Well, here's another interesting thing, and this, I think Clapper does this. The guy up in Northern California is he does I think at the beginning of his fasts, he has a bunch of different ones, but I think the water fast, I think he has patients go through the process of an enema. I think that's kind of I think he actually clears them out, because if you think about it, and I really haven't run into this myself personally, but I've talked to people that have had this happen, where they don't eliminate during the fast. It's almost like what we were talking about, right? Like if you don't, if food's not coming in, nothing's coming out. That never really happens to me, but I could see where you could become toxic, toxic situation in your bowels, where if you're not eliminating, then it's just sitting there, and if you eat meat and dairy and whatever else, that stuff putrefies pretty quickly in your intestines. So that might be another alternative. I never tried that. It's not on the top of my list, but that might be also a possibility.
It's actually a pretty common recommendation, especially in a long fast, is to do enemas or colonics or something like that. So just as you said, to help push things through that aren't getting pushed through. Because last thing you want to do is these toxins that go into your gut and they get reintroduced into your body, into your bloodstream.
Yeah. And I don't know why I've never bothered to do it. I don't have a problem eliminating when I'm on a diet, when I'm on a fast. And I think my diet is fairly clean, so I don't really have all that putrefying stuff going on. But also remember that I started this a long time ago, right? Doing 1 day fast, and 2 day fast, and 3 day fast. So
yeah, that helps.
It's a little bit of habit, right? If I just went right into a 5 day fast, I probably would. I'd like to do that, but yeah, I mean it's a personal choice, but But I think Dr. Clapper or whoever's running that center up in Petaluma, is it?
Yeah, Santa Rosa up
Santa
in
Rosa.
Northern
Santa Rosa.
California. Yeah.
Yeah. Everything out of San Francisco is just like Northern California to me. But yeah, in Santa Rosa, I think they do have that. You know, that they take people through that process. I don't know if they do it because they have like a smorgasbord of or a menu of choices of different things you can do there. I don't think it's just one thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I live to tell the tale at least.
So on day 3, you were pretty much back to normal.
Day 4.
Day 4. Okay.
Yeah, it took day 4 to get back to homeostasis, where I'm
When
eating.
when was your first big meal?
Day 4.
Day
Day
4.
4.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Up until that point, it was because don't forget. I mean, the first 2 days were kind of rough.
Oh,
So
yep.
the third day, I was really careful. You know, I didn't want to trigger anything because I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
really sure. And it wasn't until I kind of thought about it, like, what the hell did I do to myself, that I realized, oh, maybe I overdid the probiotics somehow. But I'm not saying that this BioK is bad. I'm just saying that for some reason it didn't agree with me. I'm assuming that's it. It could have been something else, but I don't know. It's the only thing I can think of.
So as you look back, any lessons learned or anything new you experienced, or yeah, how do you look back over the 5 days?
Um, well, it's funny, I I keep saying that I want to do, I want to try to do 6 days, 7 days. Now, losing 16 pounds is a lot, so I don't know if I want to push 20, but I think next time I'm going to do 7. I think I'm going to go for 7 days next time
Cool.
because even the morning of the 6th day, although I was pretty stoked to eat, um, it wasn't like I could. It wasn't like I couldn't. Like I could have done the 6th
Mm-hmm.
day, and I could have done the 7th day, and when you think about the stem cell regeneration and the immunity that's your immune system that's rebuilding, all that stuff that's going on, and all the things we're dealing with COVID and all the other stuff that's happening. Um, and, you know, the more benefit I can derive out of this process without um, impacting my health, to the point where I'm really weak, or I'm starting to see pink elephants or whatever. Unless I get to that point, I think it would be beneficial. I don't think the extra 2 days is really going to hurt. Plus, the other thing is, I'm curious to see how much more weight I lose, because I've always been like in that 14 to 16 pound window for weight loss. So I'm pretty used to that for 5 days. I wonder if I get to 7 days, am I going to lose another 5 or 1, or so? I might do that next year. So 6 months from now, we might be doing a 7 day.
So
seven.
like next spring, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. What I try to do is although my running schedule's off, usually what I do is I try to do a half marathon around the holidays, and then I do a full LA marathon in March. But they're not doing that this year because of COVID. They're actually, the half marathon is next month, and the full is the month after that. But generally, what I'll do is I'll do the half in January, and then in February I'll do the fast, because when I fast I don't run, and it takes another week to kind of get normal again, so to speak. So it kills 2 weeks of my training, and so I don't want to do that close to the marathon, in March.
After a fast, the first time you exercise, do you notice a difference?
Well, no, not really. Well, for me personally, like, I run a lot, so I ran a couple of days ago. I ran just my typical 7 miles, and it didn't seem like it was much different than before. I mean, if I take a couple of weeks off from running, it takes a couple of runs to get back to where I was. So I'm used to that, but I didn't feel weak. I didn't feel tired.
You didn't feel your
Mm-mm.
stamina increase or decrease at all?
Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. Maybe it's because of the weight
Yeah.
loss. But I mean, but on the flip side, I'm lighter. So if
Yeah.
I'm lighter, I'm running faster. You know, and less. I have less weight to move. But no, I didn't experience that.
Mm.
Yeah. So we'll see. So yeah, I mean, maybe I'll try the 7 day, see how I do.
Go for it.
Yeah. What's the worst can happen, right? So anyway, that's the deal. That's the 5 dayer.
All right. Sounds like overall good experience. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
obviously there's rough patches as you're doing it,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, you came out of it healthier and better and alive and
Yeah.
full of energy.
Yep. Yep. It was good. It was good. It was good.
Smile on your face, ready to do another. So I guess that's a good sign.
Yeah. 6 months from now.
Yeah. Even
Yeah.
though maybe in the middle of it made you cranky, but other than that, not too bad.
Yeah. In 6 months, I'll forget how much it sucked, and oh yeah, that wasn't so bad. I'll do that again.
Well, it's like a lot of things, you know, it may not feel good in the middle of it, but when it's
Right.
over, you feel great that you did it. And
Exactly.
that's true of a lot of things that have good payoffs. Maybe it's
Right.
not fun as you're doing it, but you have to have that delayed gratification, I
Mm-hmm.
guess, in a sense. So,
Yep. Yep.
and that's kind of a lesson learned, I think, from fasting is getting out of that cycle of that instant gratification that our
Mm-hmm.
society has. It's like, you know, I want my food in 2 minutes, you know, I can't wait 5 minutes.
Right.
You know, the drive through window, you know, what's taking you so long? Gimme, gimme, gimme,
Yeah.
eat, now, now, now. And I think that's kind of almost like a spiritual lesson you get out of fasting is the ability to get out of that cycle that we're just so attuned to and to be able to say, no, I'm not going to eat now. And I'm good with it. I
Yeah.
don't have to gratify myself right now, even though I'm craving apple pie or ice cream or something. I can put off that craving and
Mm-hmm.
wait for the gratification down the road, and it'll be so much better when I do get there.
Well, you know, the other thing about fasting, I don't know if I mentioned this, is you realize how much time you waste shopping for food, preparing food,
Oh yeah,
cooking food, eating food, cleaning up after yourself. You do
yeah.
it, you know,
No,
you
that's
get
very true.
breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I don't know if you snack or stuff, but the time you waste, it's not waste, but the time you use to eat, right, and all the steps in between, pre and post, are gone. So you end up
Sure.
with a lot of extra time. I've never calculated how many hours I've added to my 5 days, but you're not expending any energy on shopping and all that stuff. So you don't have to go to the store, you don't have to go get your coffee, you don't have to clean your dishes, you don't have to run your dishwasher. you know,
Yeah, it's a lot of time. It's a good
a lot of
chunk of
time. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And because you're kind of wound down during that time, you do have time to reflect and focus your energies on other things. Yep.
So did you reflect?
No.
What did you learn about your life?
No, just did stuff. I mean, stuff on our channel and reading. And,
Yeah.
I didn't do as many movies as I usually do, so that was good. I didn't feel the need to, so
Hmm.
because I've had some fasts where like I watch Netflix for 6 hours because it's just anything to kill the time.
Yeah.
You can watch the clock. Okay, when's 10 o'clock coming up so I can go to bed?
Well, that's another part of eating is it's a social thing. It's an entertainment thing.
Right.
And you take that out and all of a sudden it's like, how do I entertain myself?
Mm-hmm.
Some people eat because they're just bored.
Or gratification.
And yeah. And
Or
so
reward.
all of a sudden now you're bored and you can't eat. Well, how do you excite yourself?
Mm-hmm.
And you got to do something you did, watch a movie or, you got to find a way to excite yourself without eating. And
Mm-hmm.
for some people, eating is the big thing that entertains themselves. And all of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden there's this void of what do I do now?
Right.
So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's a fascinating thing to
Mm-hmm.
deal with on a mental, physical, or not just physical, but on a mental, emotional level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
That's why I am fascinated with a 30-day fast, because boy, you really multiply that out to 30 days, and you're like, there's going to be some interesting things you learn about yourself
Mm.
and what drives you and what entertains you, and yeah, I'm sure it's a fascinating thing that I definitely want to do one of these days. So
I can't imagine. We'll see. 7 days is
I'll
next.
I'll drag you into it.
Yeah, kicking and screaming.
Cool.
All right, man.
Well, thanks for sharing.
Yep, my pleasure. I'll talk to you soon.
Take care.
Bye.